So basically, you're not losing your mind. You're finding it. You're finding out the miraculous things that you are capable of, that you can do. And there's a lot of people that get sort of lost in trying to follow someone and trying to figure things out and trying to know what's going on. But just don't forget that you are the only master. The master is inside you. The best spiritual teacher you would ever have is inside you, and any spiritual teacher that's not going to tell you that is not a good spiritual teacher. There's only a certain point where teachings can get you to before you must discover this for yourself, because we are all different perceptions of consciousness, right? So if you picture like a giant circle split into like little pie pieces, minute, but for example, just use this vision. Now, every pie piece is a different angle and a different section of consciousness, so that it can view itself from that section. Because if it had 1,000,000 people viewing itself from the same section, what's the point? It wouldn't do that. It's about learning and growing, and experiencing. And so every single angle will be different because it's a new experience. Therefore, a spiritual teacher can lead you to a practice. However, ultimately it is your goal, or the only way you will succeed is then by going in and listening to what your heart is saying, where it's guiding you. Because by listening to everybody else around, it can get really, really confusing. So what I found is, like, I guess I took information from everywhere that I felt called to, and some of it was bullshit and some of it was good. And I followed people that call themselves gurus and masters and etc., etc. And that's fine. That's their own journey. That's their perception. They need to be that for people that need that. So there's nothing wrong with any of it. It's just my chosen path is that I am consciousness viewing myself through me, which the view is divine perfection in the way that I see it. And so what that means is what I think, feel, and know is absolute perfection for me, because it is what I think, feel, and know. When I'm thinking and feeling and knowing what somebody has told me, is that coming from me? See, this is the difficult thing. There's so much talk about, like, spirituality has become, or is like a trend, especially with all the awakenings at the moment. But if you're willing, you have this massive opportunity to just honor, love, and cherish everything that you are. And yes, there's going to be hard times, but there will always be good times as well. You can't have one without the other in the learning process, because the duality, the dark and the light, it is the force that propels us, that keeps us going. And eventually, when we learn acceptance of self, of true self, of love, of everything in our heart, then we progress to the next stage, and that is just bliss. And then things like shifting realities come into view, and altering your life situation, and being able to play with realities. And that's where the fun starts, because just notice what the universe has to show you. The more you look, the more you will see, the more it will show you. It's incredible. There isn't any boundaries, there's no walls. Just leap, just go and try and do and discover and unravel, and just don't let anything hold you back, because ultimately the only thing ever holding you back is you. And just no point, because it's all a dream.